My name is Dr. Mo Algendi. I'm a postdoctoral fellow at the University of British Columbia and at Children's and Women's Hospital here in Vancouver, BC. And I do support the report. So what is the report anyway? Simply, it is a report written by Dr. David Naylor that lays out a multi-year agenda that could transform the Canadian research capacity across the nation. Why is this important to you? Basically, the amount of money spent on fundamental research has decreased over the past few years. As mentioned in the report, the loss in natural sciences and engineering research is about 36%, and the loss in social sciences research is about 31%. That is about 1/3 decrease in money spent on Canadian research and on researchers such as grad students, postdocs, and PIs. And this loss impacts the quality, amount, and overall performance of research in Canada. Research that is so important for us to develop and progress as a nation. Sadly, in 2017, Canada placed 18th in a recent innovation ranking and is not even among the top 10 countries in the world. Here is one of BC's top scientific minds sharing their thoughts about the report.
Hello, I'm Jon Stoessl. I'm the head of neurology at the University of British Columbia and the co-director of the Javad Moafagian Center for Brain Health. My message today is very simple, that research saves lives, is good for the economy, and stimulates the development of young individuals. Canada, as a first world country, has an obligation to contribute to the global fund of knowledge, and yet over the last several years, federal funding for research has declined by around 35%. Historically, we have punched well above our weight in terms of contributions to scientific knowledge, but that is now in jeopardy. I'm fortunate enough to work in a beautiful new building where we are poised to solve some of the major problems in terms of our understanding of normal brain function and of how disease affects the brain, both neurological and psychiatric. And yet, despite the wonderful surroundings in which we find ourselves, we're constantly worried about our ability to attract new young minds to come and work here. The people who are at greatest risk from the cuts in federal funding are in fact the early career investigators. Historically, most people who trained in science would go on to an academic career, and yet nowadays that is a minority, and most either don't go into science at all or choose a different career trajectory once they've finished their training. But there are also risks to the senior career investigators, many of whom are either changing the direction of their research or getting out of research entirely because they're worried that they cannot sustain the activities. As a clinician, I'm especially worried about this because it has always been difficult everywhere in the world to convince clinicians to embark on a career that includes research, and with funding cuts, it's even more difficult to encourage that, and yet that is crucial for developments in translational science and for the benefits of the health of Canadians. So I strongly support the recommendations of the Naylor report, and I feel it is urgent that there be a commitment of federal funding as outlined in that report, $1.3 billion over 4 years to support researchers and infrastructure, and $500 million essentially to directly support curiosity-driven research. Thank you very much.
So what can you do right now to help and support the cause? 1. Write to your Member of Parliament. Click on these links for information. 2. Write a letter to the Finance Minister, Bill Murno. Here is his address. 3. Be vocal on social media. Use these hashtags in combination. Finally, I urge you to support the report and support the future of Canada.